Best of r/confessions episode 21. Subscribe for edit videos daily. Going to rehab made me realize how much time I wasted on incel forums. Finally got some fucking life perspective. I was so sheltered and thought I didn't get laid for stupid reasons. My life has been fucking easy compared to the shit I heard and friends I made there. And guys a lot uglier than me got laid all the time. Turns out being a shucksin with no life experience who entirely relied on internet forums for socialization was a problem. Fuck that community and the endless negativity of the internet. Homeless fentanyl addicts were more positive and helpful and uplifting to me than a bunch of losers in their basements living like I did. The first friends I've ever had. Thank you. Next. My ex-wife gambled away our money. After divorce I targeted gamblers to date. During the course of my marriage, my ex-wife kept us broke due to gambling. After inheriting over $200k, which wife knew of, but I kept in a separate account. She got into my computer, keystroke logged, got the password, and drained every single penny. Needless to say divorced. After this I decided that meeting desperate gambling chicks would be a fun way to get laid. I would simply go on the Craigslist personals, when that was still a thing, and run an ad seeking someone to go to the casino me. The nearest one is about 2 hours away. It was like shooting fish in a flipping barrel. No, I did not get laid every time, but I did get laid several times, and had one relationship a married chick for over 3 years. I offered nothing more than a ride to the casino. I noticed these gals were usually married, or otherwise destitute, no car, or crappy car. Sometimes I would throw them a few bucks to play with, $20, $50, depending on my mood. But for the most part, they had their gambling money. But I noticed they did not want to put the miles on their cars. Cause hubby was watching that. I would buy lunch, or dinner. But I just did this cause it was fun and easy. Time was frequently an issue, so never once paid for a hotel. Although got a few of them camped. I never wagered myself more than maybe 20 or 30 bucks at a time, although these gals would blow way more. Who knows from where it came. I was 43 years old, and a 76-year-old lady gave me roadhead. She lived her kid as I recall. I am not proud of this, but that's my story, and I am sticking to it. Feel free to ask any questions. Thank you. Next. My cat has been giving birth for the last hour or so. She wants me beside her and if I walk away she comes to find me and I have to bring her back to the box and sit with her and give her belly rubs while she push. I'm her emotional support. So far, she's pushed one out and breathing. Thank you. Next. I was sexually abused by my dad for 18 years, with my mom's knowing consent. I just wanted to admit this to the world. Finally, I've already told some of the closest people around me. But I also wanted to scream it into the dark void of the internet. You may not care but now you know and that's enough. Edit. Just because I see it brought up a lot in the threads below. I am a dude. Also thanks for the support and awards. Very strange to be receiving all this support and love. This is way more than I could have ever asked for. Thank you. Next. Being homeless is my biggest fear. So a little backstory. I went to high school in Atlanta, which is where this started. I myself was not homeless but I lived in a shady part of Atlanta so I was exposed to a lot of it and let me tell you something, it is not pretty. I've seen people go batshit insane from being homeless for so long. A lot of them resort to drugs or are on the streets or living in abandoned houses. But I think the worst part is that every day it becomes more and more hopeless until some people eventually just give up. Fast forward to 2020, I lost my job, lost my home cause of COVID. I got out of a domestic abuse situation, ended finding out that my mother passed, and now if I am not couch surfing I am sleeping on concrete or steps. My anxiety is always up because I don't know what I am going to do and it's just as bad as I thought. ITDB. My friend helped me set up a GoFundMe but that's at $0 RN. Please to anyone who sees it, do whatever it takes for you to keep a roof over your head because this isn't fun at all, it's horrible. Just had to get this off of my chest. Thank you. Next. I hope 1 billion people die from COVID-19. The world needs this as stupidity has taken over society. There's no hope if we all keep breeding and living longer. It's time to thin out the herd. You don't need a new iPad every year or even one. Your phone does everything. Things are overrated. Wants and needs are so askew across the Western world it's sickening. Do the world a favor. Keep going to your COVID parties and kill off all your friends. You're wasting air and space on this planet instead of trying to fix it. George Carlin said it best, the average person is at kingdom, and that's just the average person. He'd appreciate a good pandemic. Thank you. Next. Metal music doesn't hit the same. I don't know if this is true for everyone, but for me, heavier music used to be the only thing I could listen to. I hated anything with a poppy beat and catchy tunes. I've struggled with depression and anxiety my whole life, but lately it's been getting better and I find myself listening to it less and less now. I still enjoy metal and stuff, but now that I don't relate to the feelings, I don't really get as engaged as I used to, and I wonder if it's true what they say about heavier music making people unhappy, or if people who listen already were unhappy and they just flock to it because they can relate. Lately I like it less and less, but it's still nostalgic and entertaining, but I don't want to lose it completely because it's how I grew up and I am not into anything else.